Yeah, we finally made it out of prison as of last week on Monday. Today marks a week. Um, it's been about 2 months. While I was in there, before I got arrested, the dog was impounded. Just came back from Verona Beach, New York. Traveled 32 separate states in the last year. There's a lot of things that I've done, and I'm proud of myself for. I'm just trucking along and trying to survive as much as I possibly can, going through the situations and scenarios that I'm going through currently. I do see myself becoming successful and pushing my narrative and pushing my brand. Currently, right now, I'm working on merch and I'm working on a whole bunch of other things. And I got a bunch of cool designs and ideas and generalization. Just a lot of things that I'm just really thinking about doing and trying to get done as quickly as possible. I'm using my social media as a way and an outlet for me to get a lot of things off my chest and to also push my brand. And I'm hoping nothing but the best and hopefully push a good narrative. And whoever's riding along, they're going to see the journey. And whoever has been riding along and has seen a lot of things that's happened over the past couple of months, I appreciate you guys. And it's been a wild, wild, wild journey, and not enough pain and days that I've seen can match up to my experiences now. I'm leading forward towards greatness, no matter what type of major setbacks I've had in my life, and you know I'm not gonna allow for myself to fall again. This is my first week out of prison, and so far I've made a lot of money, and I'm trying my best to keep pushing forward and not trying to focus on the things that are negative and that put me down. It sucks to be in my position, and you're just coming freshly out, even from a worse predicament or situation that you were in prior before. I just survived Mexico or New Mexico, and I got myself out, and I've been traveling in the world. I've been making money, doing whatever the fuck I want to do, and at the same time trying to get my life back, trying to get all my documentation, trying to get everything to put myself in the right position for my future. Right now, I'm in a tough spot in my life, and I'm just grateful every day to keep moving on and finding ways to better myself and to figure out what I'm going to do for my future. This is a plan for me to do my best and revitalize. What up, Lewis? What's good? Yeah, I'm just in one of those mindsets where I'm like, okay, I know exactly what to do and how to do it. And it sucks that just coming out and you're readjusting to the world again, and you don't have the proper tools and whatever else right now to be able to get a job and to be able to hold something down and get all your shit paid off. I'm currently facing court costs and fines, and I'm going to slowly get them paid off. My legal battles and problems and issues. I left the state back in 2024, Pennsylvania. I left the state, and I went to Iowa. I went to California, New Mexico. I've went to several states in such a short amount of time, just journeying and visiting, and being in the newspaper, Silver City, New Mexico, for Summerlin Narcan kids, for Brian Stengel. It's called Recovery New Mexico. I've worked all different types of places and helped out businesses. And, there's a lot of things that I've done. And I'm going to continue to keep doing shit no matter what the fuck I go through. I want it to be motivation for others that no matter what you're going through in life, that you got to stay strong and keep your fucking head up. And never allow for things in life to tear you down or destroy you. I'm built off a lot of memories in my life that fucking me, and the shit that I go through today and what I've lost and who I'm going to become. You could research my social media. I go by Bleed for Peace everywhere. I've worked in dispensaries. I've helped out businesses. I could pretty much do anything. I could fix up campers, cars. I have a wide range of accolades and things that I can do, and I'm proud of myself, appreciative of myself too, because I'm a hardworking, dedicated person that wants to see his future and his dreams come to reality. What up, Mir? What up, Ahmed? Yeah, I just wanted to come up on here and speak how I'm feeling and what's going on, and I just want the best for everybody individually. And it's my first week out, and I'm proud of myself because I made it this far and I haven't given up. No matter the legal troubles, friends, people that I was with, situations, what I survived, what I had to go through, it's fucked up. My journey and my book, the book that I'm currently writing on right now, is called Surviving New Mexico. I've already previewed and did a couple other lives over the past couple of months while going through my own situations after recovering from New Mexico. I'm still recovering on it. And I want to keep journeying and showing my existence to, hopefully in front of a lot of people, because I want to be that big motivator. I want to be that person that can show you that you can go through so fucking much, be out on the streets and recovering from your own situations and fucked up shit, and showing you guys how to make money, how to get yourself, situated, even if you're not fully recovered just yet. The process is going to take some time, and that's what I'm currently doing right now with my life, is recovery. And I'm hoping within the next month or two I'll be able to have my own place again. I'll be able to get away from a lot of the issues that I had currently before, and never have to look back and just tell myself that I made it. And when you do that, it kind of empowers you to be the best version of yourself. And that's my goal right now, and that's always been my goal, is just trying to be the best version of yourself while going through it in ways to where sometimes you feel like you're not going to be able to make it out to the other side. And I deal with those fears every single day. Say to so, I don't really have fears all like that, but I've survived and outlived a lot of things, and I'm going to continue to, no matter what. And that's what's built my mental and being strong and doing things like a soldier. When you become God's strongest soldier, you can kind of outshine the rest and all the evil and bad doing around you. And you can just continue forward in your own path and your own, perspective of reality. Nobody could take nothing away from you. You are who you are at the end of the day. Just be the best you. Be the best you. I've always based my YouTube channel off of positivity, peace and prosperity. I'm in a music group called YNG, You're Not God. It's basically a universal love set. We speak in such high intellectual being, and we're trying to push a narrative, about the psychological traumas and the psychological relationships with people and how things work in life, and my own past trauma, serious or situations, shit that's happened in my life. It's fucked up, but I never give up. And I feel like everyone that's watching this, or anyone that's bound to watch this, I really want to bring them from the lowest point of their lives, even though I've seen the lowest days of my life. And, you can't really hit rock bottom once you're already there. Then again, there's always ways to climb out of that. Because when you do, shit, you're going to feel very successful at the end. You're going to be proud of yourself. It's going to teach you a lot of things and values. And, you're going to have a hard head in life with how you approach and appreciate things a lot more. Today's for you, sir. How are you today for you, sir? I'm doing pretty good, man. Yeah, I just wanted to come up on here, spread my views, and I might make a couple more lives throughout the day. I want to be able to, spread a narrative and also update you guys on what's been going on. And I know there's a lot of people that will watch this afterwards. And I want to keep posting, updating, and posting, no matter what the fuck I'm going through and shit. I'm just taking a journey. I've been seen by tens of thousands of people across the states, and I know how to be successful in my own ways. And I got merch coming here soon. I have a whole bunch of shit that I'm fucking working on that I want you guys to see within the next following months, and hopefully cop some gear, cop some shit, and all around we just build a brand off of this. But yeah, I just wanted to say some shit real quick. I'm gonna repost this. Like I said, peace, love, and prosperity. I want everybody to stay positive, humbled, and focused. Never let yourself down. Never let your peers down. Focus on yourself. Keep people away that are toxic. Keep people away that's gonna eat away at your energy. That's gonna tear you down while you're trying to pick yourself back up. The ones that want to kick you while you're down should not be treated or should not be around you. If they're a negative influence towards what your impact is, they're not worth being inside of your life. I've done this with plenty of girls, and I've done this with plenty of friends and people that are no longer here by my side. And, you cannot blame them. You cannot blame the people around you. At the end of the day, a lot of things in your life you're going to lose, and you're going to forget and, forgive the people around you, and try your best to not focus on those evil energies or people that are trying to cause a reaction for you to fall back down to where you were just fucking from, to a point where it's hard for you to get out. Don't use it as a trap. Don't think that it is a trap. Because when you do, that's when it starts sinking you in. When you can find ways to keep pushing and surviving, carrying all your shit, fucking having to throw shit away, do this, do that. I had knives pulled out on me. I struggled real bad down in New Mexico. It was the girl that I was with. We had a YouTube channel, and, I went down there, and shit just fucking happened. And the situation got worse on my behalf. And I struggled for a good month and a half until I found somebody, through the Dollar General down there, where I would go to the corner with a sign every single day. This journalist found me and wanted to help me out. So I was very, very thankful for that. She helped me get out of New Mexico. And so far, I came back to the East Coast. I was very thankful to have made it out of there alive. I'm very, very thankful. Not a lot of people make it through those type of scenarios or through those type of situations. And I'm just grateful to be that lucky person. Because, I wouldn't be here today if things would have been a little bit different. And that's why I'm writing this book, and I'm hoping to get this book out there to as many people as I possibly can, that, I survived New Mexico. This shit's like almost like Breaking Bad, if you ever watched Breaking Bad. And, mixed with my own, story and perspective of what happened down there. and just showing you guys my journey. And right now I'm in York, Pennsylvania. I'm thinking about going back to New York for a little bit, upstate. I'm thinking about going to Ohio, either or. I'm just trying to figure out where to go from here. They did impound my dog. His name was Cashy. I've had him since he was born. He was 4 years old at the time. He was everywhere with me. And everyone loved my dog, and I love my dog. Like, he was like my son. And every day, being by his side and him being by mine, that dog was a really, really loving dog and helped me out emotionally and physically. And, it sucked when I got arrested that day and they ended up taking my dog. That shit really fucking hurt me. And I've been trying to recover mentally from this shit because it's like that's like your best friend, but it's also like your son too, and to see that they impound your dog just because you were arrested, and the fact that you can't get your dog back after somebody adopts them out. I've lost a lot of things whenever I got arrested, and I've been trying to recover from that, just the same as when I came out of New Mexico. I've been trying to recover from that too. And it's just a lot of shit that's piling up, but I'm being stronger than that. I'm being, as much as I possibly can mentally, preparing myself, because anything and everything could happen at any moment in time, and you could lose so fucking much. You could be at the top and lose it all. That's just how life is. It fucking hurts me, but I've been keeping headstrong and motivated to push my story out there so I can get people to understand where I'm coming from, so I can probably help out other people in their own situations. I know a lot of people can relate with a lot of things, and right now, I'm sleeping out on the streets, and I've been pitching my tent, just doing a lot of survival shit. I'm trying to get to better in my life. Like I said, I'm only recovering, so I'm not in the best position of my life. Although I got money, I can get myself money. It's all about getting my documentation and all my other shit back so I could finally get back into a place and be on my own 2 feet in the best way possible. That's just my goal. My goal is that, plain and simple. And also I want to boost my social media presence and hopefully, make it to where, this could be my, place where I can help other people and also help myself at the same time mentally. What are Romina's Hotels with the I don't care if you fucking do whatever with that clip. I'm cool with it. Yeah, it is windy today, but it is beautiful. I am not gonna hold you. It's a beautiful day. Probably better than most, because it was raining the past couple of days, and it's been very, very windy. So it's been cold out here. But I fucking went to Goodwill and shit, and I caught these right here for like fucking $3. So fucking that shit, and I got this for like a couple bucks. Fashion Nova. This shit fire. Fuck yeah. I remember when my fucking ex, she was fucking burnt all my clothes. Like, I had so much clothes and so much shit. My fucking ex burnt all my shit. I was pissed. Like, I don't know what her ordeal was or why. And I don't know. I feel like it was all planned. Like, it was all fucking planned. She took and burnt all my shit after she got me kicked out. And fucking, that's when I got picked up from Cyrus. And, I got brought over to the Ridges. I was working on cars and shit. And, it's just crazy that that bitch really burnt all my shit, put me through some fucked up shit. And add a Q&A sticker. I'm gonna try it. Let's do it. Yeah, what's the weirdest thing in your refrigerator? Why is it on my fucking face, dog? Yeah. There's a lot of things on my mind. There's a lot of things that I go through. And, one by one, like a warrior, I'm gonna get through them all. One by one. Ain't nothing can stop me. I'm a warrior. What? I don't know what the fuck that meant, but yeah. I have a lot of crazy stories to me, a lot of crazy situations, and the one video on my channel, we were over at a cookout. It was me and Rich. Was over at a cookout. He's on a couple of my shorts and one of my videos. And we was at a cookout, and fucking dude ended up sucker punching my friend. My friend went through the back door, like he kicked him through the back door. My friend ended up like getting up a little bit. This dude pulled out a gun from his waistband and started shooting at us. I'm standing like 2-3 feet back from fucking Rich, and I just see this man pull a blick out of his waistband and go boom, 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 boom. He shot like, I think he shot like 8 to 9 times. And that's when I grabbed Cash and I fucking ran around that corner where like the slanted steps are at. And I accidentally kicked the fucking top of like the steps. There was like a rock that was poking up. And my boot hit the fucking rock. And I ended up falling down a flight of steps. And I smacked the floor like this. I blacked out for like 20 seconds. And, I was just thankful to have survived that night. I came out with, a couple cuts, and, my knees still fucked up to this very day. My elbow, I feel it sometimes when I move it. It like has like this stinging. It's been like 2 months now, like 2.5 months now. But I still feel some of the after effects of me when I smacked that fucking floor. I didn't go to the hospital. I didn't do none of that shit. I ended up going to the Greyhound station and hopping on a Greyhound bus, and I said, boom, I'm fucking out of here. I said I was out of there. And I got out of there and I went back up to Rochester, New York. That's whenever I was in Pittsburgh. I went from Pittsburgh back up to Rochester, New York. So, I was bouncing back and forth and shit. It's been a lot. It's been a lot these past couple of months. And I'm just grateful that I get to live another day to tell my experiences and to, get it off my chest, so I'm not just sitting here in my own thoughts thinking about what has happened, knowing that I have a platform and, I'm that person to be able to speak upon this type of shit. Whenever I went to prison, I sat for about 2 months nearly at the time. At first I went to the hole. I had a lot of bad experiences. I normally have bad experiences in York County Prison. And, there's a lot of shit that goes on behind closed doors that nobody really knows. And I'm just thankful that, I went through it all and got through the end a champ. I didn't let nothing faze me. Nothing phases me in life. They put me in the hole for about 15 days. First, I was in suicide precautions. They just found meds on me or whatever bullshit. Sat down for a little bit, and that experience was a little bit different. And me just journeying and being on my own 2 feet and constantly moving and getting shit done. Being in prison was just like, I mean, like, there's a lot of shit to get done that I need to get done, but then again, it kind of held me back from a lot of things in my life that, I could already have right now. But, sometimes things are like learning experiences. And, this ain't my first, my first run-in with being in York County Prison. And, being on my journey and having, this shit happen the way that it did. I forgot that I had a bench warrant out for my arrest. I thought it was vacated from back in 2024, back when I first moved out to Iowa. I was in Monticello, Iowa. I was working 2 jobs, Market of the Tap, and I was working at Diamond Pie. I was making pizza dough in the morning and shit. I was doing a whole bunch of shit, working tedious different types of jobs, just doing my own thing. Because I'm like that. I always, everywhere I go, every state that I go to, I business with people. I know how to get around the right people. I even have a TikTok on there. Whenever I first went up to Iowa, I met up with the girl that was running for senator or some shit, Christian or something. I don't forget her name. It's on my TikTok, Need for Peace. I've ran into a lot of, Christina Bohannon. That's her name. Yeah, she came to the Diamond Pie, and I guess they were having like a little Congress meeting or some shit there. Just like a little celebration thing. And they came in and, had a little short conversation, whatever. Shit was cool. I've seen a lot of famous people. I've been around a lot of like good situations. Whenever I did go down to the West Coast, I feel like I presented myself in the best way. I had opportunities after opportunities. I was making a lot of money. And the fact that I still had a bench warrant out for my arrest from back in 2024, and it came to be, whenever I came back here as of September 19th, and then I got arrested on the 22nd, the 22nd, and they took my dog. My dog was squealing, he was crying, and, it was just fucked up hearing your dog crying and shit while you're getting placed in handcuffs surrounded by like 7-8 police officers. It's an experience after all the experiences you just had. It's like evil and bad juju that's just carrying, and shit that's fucking just coming up left and right, barely giving you a chance to just breathe and figure yourself out, while all this shit is just your downfall. And they took me in. I told them a false identity, whatever. They ended up finding out my name, got the bench warrant, ran, boom, got slapped in the cuffs. Fucking, like I said, like 7-8 police officers. Man, it was a really, really rough experience. Not even a couple days in prison, I had unauthorized medication underneath my bunk. I ended up almost getting into a fight with one of the dudes, so one of the COs took me out. They were about to send me to the hole, and it was my birthday, September 29th, and I told him, hey, it's my birthday, like, can you just move me today? And he ended up saying, hey, we'll move you, but we're gonna go grab your stuff out of the pre-class. And they went to go grab my stuff, and they see underneath my bunk that I had unauthorized medication, which is medication on a cart. It was Tylenol, Klonopin, and I forget what the third one is, but it's another little painkiller and shit. And when they found that, they came out and they slapped cuffs on me. That experience of being arrested inside of the prison. Shit is fucking wild. Yeah, the experience of that. And fucking that happened. They put me in suicide precautions, where you're in a turtle smock or a turtle suit 24 hours a day. But after a day or so, if you reach this suicide precautions 1, suicide precautions 2, suicide precautions 3, You get your jumpers back, but you don't get no socks. And you get hand-fed food where it's 3 pieces of bread with hard-boiled egg and apple slices just smashed into a fucking sandwich. This shit was fucking... It's bad. It's bad to like be in that circumstance and that situation with how they treat people that, you know, have either mental problems or, you know, could be drug problems. It could be anything. And the way that they treat people is, you know, it's inhumane. It's very, very inhumane. And, you know, I sat 3 days inside of there. You know, the days felt excruciating to be in a room 24/7, not being able to brush your teeth, not being able to wash yourself, not being able to like take care of yourself. So I spent 3 days in there, and then I ended up getting sent to the hole, you know, because that was a part of my disciplinary, you know, shit from that. So I went to the hole. I sat in the hole for about almost 15 days. 15 days I spent in there. You know, waking up every day in the same room. Sometimes I wouldn't even wake up for rec, so I'd be in that room 24/7. And, you know, that shit, you know, the days were really long, I would say. And, you know, to keep yourself occupied in there and to deal with your own mental and shit that you already like gone through, and like when you're hurting inside, you're treated like a dog in a fucking cage. And I don't feel like that's right for people to be treated that way just because of, you know, certain disciplinary action reports, you know, just things that happen. And I feel like, yeah, people deserve consequences, but there's other ways to go about those consequences that could help, you know, revitalize and, you know, probably help somebody out so they're not coming out even worse than what it was before. Because I've seen that happen several times where somebody will go in for fighting and then, you know, much rather, you know, instead of being taught the right way and shown the right way, you're sitting in a room all day and you got other people screaming, they're wicked, screaming, fucking everybody fighting with each other, beefing with each other and shit. You're only creating more fuel to the fire. You're only creating more narratives to happen when these people are released from the hole. Segregation, you know, it's a very different thing when you're locked up and, you know, nobody, you basically have nobody. And the incentive that when you do go in there and you do have people, a lot of other people are going to see that and be like, wow, you know, people are going to be hurt about it. You know, other people are going to be jealous. You know, prison lifestyle is a little bit different when you're going through it alone. When you're going through it alone, you're going to see people get out and get bonded out. You're going to see a whole bunch of shit. And, you know, it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you because, like, you know, you got so much waiting on the outside. So when that day finally comes up to where you don't know at first, you know, because you could be going to a court day and you don't know what their you know, preferences are and what they're gonna recommend. You know, I was thankful because I could have gotten over a year, but instead they sentenced me to court costs and fines for this charge and my probation violation. They gave me time served to 6 months. So time served, pleaded out guilty, and, you know, I got out on November 3rd. Thankful for it because I'm like, yeah, freedom. But, you know, I'm still dealing with my struggles coming out and shit, and reintroducing myself out into the world and trying my best to see what the best ways to make money and encourage myself to get my GED, get all my shit done while I can. So when I do, I could be in the best position of my life this coming year. This next year is going to be the year where I redeem myself, where coming back from all this stuff, I'll be able to see things through in a clear, broad spectrum of reality. I'll be able to, look back at all the things I had to go through and all the things I had to do, and just know that I was tough. And to be successful from that point on, it's a blessing. It would be a blessing every day to wake up and realize that you accomplished so much coming from where you're at. When you hit rock bottom, like I said, you hit your lowest point and you lose it all, you gotta always look at it like, okay, if I had it all before, there was a way that I got it. And you could try various ways, different types of ways and mannerisms to be able to make another living for yourself, to climb out of that hole that you're so deeply stuck in. There's many ways to climb out. And I'm being that example and an extension to myself. I want to lead an example, and I want to lead a voice for those that are unspoken, for those people that don't know what the plan is, don't know what their future could hold. But then again, learning through my words and learning through, my motivation and tempted by my own reality and me being out on the streets and, recovering, making money, picking up gigs and, pertaining to trying to build myself in such a short amount of time. Sorry, it gets cold as shit out here. I said build, but build a good fucking narrative, a good fucking story in my life. I can't wait till the book comes out. I just have so much to talk about, and I feel like there's so much more to be said, but I want to cut this short. I will be re-uploading this. I was going to cut this short in like 13 minutes, but now it's like 37 minutes. But yeah, I'm going to re-upload this shit. I hope everyone finds the content, at least entertaining. This new series is going to be based on starting out from $0 to $10,000 either before the end of the year, but I know that I'll probably make that in such a short amount of time. And I'm confident that I will. I know I will. I know I will. Probably even more. I'll probably have to extend the challenge out a little bit more if that happens and make it into a series to see, how much I can make by the end of the year and how far my life can take me in 1 year. That is basically what that challenge is going to be about. I'm going to be starting out, like I said, with $0, nothing else, no background money, no, support from working a job. It's all just going to be based income off of my own business ventures and other things and motives that are going to help accumulate the money set for a challenge to make it and hopefully achieve that. But yeah, I just wanted to get off of here and on a good note and to be able to spread this message, very, very long message. But I hope everyone has a good one. Thank you for the hi from Algeria. Hey, shout out to Algeria. Shout out to every state. Shout out to every country. Shout out everywhere on this earth for everyone that's living. Spread peace, positivity, and love. It's your boy Bleed for Peace, and I'm out.